Hello, my name is Sapna Dhingra, and our group is Group 3. Uh, so we are three group members, Radhika, Harvinder, and me. We will be going to present on our case study today. So our case study have these given contents, including introduction, set of data flow diagrams, use cases diagram, to use case diagram, sequence diagram, solution, and conclusion. So we'll first start with the introduction. Um, yeah, so in the introduction, we have mentioned the Ceylon textile suppliers. So Ceylon textile suppliers is an Australian-based organization, and the organization has a product selling system that helps to sell clothing related products in New Zealand and Australian market. The organization mainly wants a web interface for their user for minimizing their effort through a manual system. There are several systems, uh, subsystems of the system that are sales order, marketing and advertising, campaign, stock controls, and dispatching of goods. The presentation will provide a leveled set of data flow diagrams for each subsystem that will show the flow of information through the system. The data flow diagram will help the CTP to improve efficiency, discover potential problems, as well as deliver better products to their clients. Next slide, please. So we'll talk about the data flow diagram here. First of all, we need to mention what is a data flow diagram. So a data flow diagram maps out the flow of information for any process or system. It uses defined symbols like rectangles, circles, and arrows, plus short text labels to show data inputs, outputs, storage points, and the routes between each destination. There are two type of data flow diagrams that we have talked about in our presentation. So context diagrams, also known as level 0 diagrams. Those are the diagrams where the whole system is represented as a single process. As level 1 data flow diagram notates each of the main sub-processes that together form the complete system. So here we can see this is the illustration of data flow diagram. Um, Next, please. Next, we can see the sales order level 1 diagram. So this illustrates the whole sales order level one diagram here. So we'll talk about more on sales order diagram. So the figure illustrates the context diagram, level 1 data flow diagram, and level 0 data flow diagram of the sales order subsystems. Here, the seller is able to sell the clothing related products in the system. When the sales team gets an order from the customer, they will pass the order details to the dispatch team. And further, this dispatch team will pass the order to manager of stockroom. Then on the basis of the stock, the customer is able to purchase the clothing related products. So that's how this whole sales order works. So next we'll talk about the dispatching of goods. So dispatching of goods, here there are context and level 0 and level 1 diagram. We can see everything is explained here in the basis of the diagrams. So this level 1 diagram, so the above diagrams mainly illustrates the set of data flow diagrams of dispatching of goods subsystem. So the data flow illustrate the procedure of dispatching the goods, and the data team plays an important role in this. So the last one is stock controls. So we can see the level 1 stock control data flow diagram here in this slide. And here, so we can say that this diagram illustrates the set of data flow diagram of dispatching of goods subsystem. Here, the data flow illustrates the procedure of dispatching the goods, and here also the team plays an important part. So further, I'll just hand over this to Harvinder, and she will be taking care from here all, and explain more about the case study. Thank you.
So thank you, Sapna. So the next is about so the next slide is showing that the data flow diagram here illustrate the procedure of information flow of any return from suppliers or customers, and also it's showing the return request is sent to the stock manager for managing the goods. Next slide, please. The data flow diagram illustrates the flow of information regarding the advertising and marketing campaign. This information is mainly sent to the stock manager for informing them about stock level. Next slide, please. Next is about the use case diagrams. So basically, what is use case diagram? Use case diagram means which captures the system functionality and requirements by using the actors and use cases. Use cases model the services, tasks, function that a system need to perform. Use cases represent high level functionalities and how a user will handle the system. Use cases are the core concepts of unified modeling language modeling language. So next slide is about the sales order and the dispatching of goods and many other things. So can you move next slide, please? So here basically it shows that in this use case diagrams there are three actors who will carry out different tasks in terms of the business operation. The order will be placed by the customers, then it will be verified by the unit manager by order analysis. If approved, then an automated mail will be sent to the customer. The customers can approve or reject the order as per their convenience. Moreover, the supply manager can review the entire order schedule and update the status in the ERP system as well. So, next is about the dispatching of goods. The use case diagram shows three actors who who have different responsibilities and functions for the business operation. There are there are nine uses in the total, like in total the overall functionality of dispatching system of the company, which can be managed by the ERP system. The customers will select the items and place order by making payments. They can also track their products through the tracking ID and consignments notes generated by the dispatcher of courier services. The dispatcher will also dispatch the goods and generate the tracking ID and deliver the goods to the customer. On the other hand, the employee of the warehouses can generate the invoice, pick up the goods, and close the invoices. So the next will explain by the Radhika. So these all I already explained about the marketing, sales order, dispatching of goods. These all covered by me. So next we'll explain by the Radhika.
Thank you, Harvinder. I will go on to explain sequence diagram. A sequence diagram is nothing but they are interaction diagrams that detail how operations are carried out. They capture the interaction between objects in the context of a collaboration. Sequence diagrams are time focused and they show the order of interaction visually by using the vertical axis of diagrams to represent time, what messages are sent, and when they are sent. So I would like to explain the purpose of sequence diagram as well. The basic purpose is to model high level interaction between active objects in a system. Other purposes are to model the interaction between object instances within a collaboration that realizes a use case, model the interaction between objects within a collaboration that realizes an operation, and either model generic interactions or specific instances of an interaction. So as you can see, this is the this is the sequence diagram of sales order and dispatching goods. Next, we have another sequence diagram of stock controls and goods receipt. Now I'll move on to the solution of this case study. According to the case scenario of CTS organization, the main issue with the ad hoc systems that are currently used have various problems, and they often crash, making the entire system idle. The company follows manual procedure to carry out daily operations that is not efficient or fast to satisfy the customer demands. CTS can opt for either a web-based ERP system or a cloud-based solution that will be handled by any third-party organization. Both these methods will automate their operations, but their implementation operations and costs are different. These two solutions will help to reduce the efforts given through the manual systems and will help to enhance the overall efficiency of the system and business operations of CTS through internet. As per the business requirements of CTS and customer demands, it is highly recommended to implement the web-based ERP system to mitigate the existing issues of company in terms of stock management, return reports, sales, and customer reports, customer support. The recommended solution will have the capacity to enhance the overall efficiency of the business operations and can also automate the report generation and purchase orders. The proposed solution also aims to notify customers with various details along with any of them. Finally, the recommended solution will also enhance the overall sales as well as the user satisfaction of CTS organization. Finally, we move on to the conclusion of this report. In this report, an effective product selling system has been developed for Ceylon textile suppliers that will help the companies in improving sales, marketing, and services. The product selling system has been designed in such a way that will minimize the interruption between various business operations. Excuse me. The system has been divided into various subsystems that are sales order, dispatching goods, stock controls, marketing and advertising campaign, and goods receipt. For each subsystem, a set of data flow diagrams also has been provided in the report. Therefore, the report has been provided a data dictionary that illustrates all the attributes of the data model. 3 use case diagrams of the newly developed systems also have been provided in the report. Furthermore, the report has been provided the descriptions of 2 use cases. 1 sequence diagram for each subset also has been provided in the report. Finally, a web-based ERP system has been recommended for the CTS that will improve the sales and services of the organization, as well as mitigate the drawback of the ad hoc system. That is the next slide of bibliography. And that is the end of our presentation. Thank you, everyone.